So speaking of, when you take your dog for a walk and you have to pick up after them, what should a stool like? What should a healthy stool look like? I know this is kind of gross, but it's an important measurement of health. So
Absolutely. Okay, so most stools, if we're feeding a traditional kibble diet, they're going to be huge. And we don't know this until we see the contrast, okay? But and they're usually really stinky because the body is really not made. Cooked food at high temperature, rancid oils, carbohydrates. Animal's body doesn't know what to do with that. And so the stools and even the gas, it's very odoriferous and they're very
yeah,
large. Now, when you transition to a biologically appropriate diet, you will see that the stools will become much smaller because the body's actually integrated the nutrition and it's not
right.
pooping out the fillers, but you won't see that until you make the change. You won't even notice that anything's wrong because you'll think that's just normal. So it's great that we're talking about the contrast here. So a
Yeah.
normal stool should be formed, should not be
Hmm.
loose, should not be, it should just be like a light to medium brown formed stool that also doesn't knock you over. Okay.
Right.
It's going
I'm
to have some
smiling because my dog's stools match that description, so I'm very happy. But I cook her food. I make like the stews you mentioned on our last interview that like stews are good for them, and we talked a little bit about food, and so I
yes,
give her real food. So, um,
excellent.
it makes me happy that yeah, I've always been able to
You
pick
see the
up after
difference
her.
though?
Yeah, well, I have
In
never given
over
her kibble, but my but
right.
Willow, in the beginning, I didn't know better, and then I started giving her real food maybe about a year or two into it. So yeah, that's interesting now that I think about it. They did get better with real food and solid, easy to pick up. So
Absolute and
yeah,
solid, easy to pick up. Yeah, it shouldn't stick to the ground.
yeah.
And I probably have not had one person that did not switch to an appropriate biologically appropriate diet that did not say they're not going to the bathroom very much. And I said, good, it's normal. They're not pooping out filler anymore. And they're like,
Right.
oh, really? And it's the same with cats. You'll notice that while we're on the topic of stools, cat stools can be very odoriferous.
Oh yeah.
And when you start feeding them an appropriate diet, it's not that it doesn't smell at all, but you will notice a big change just in how the stool smells and, of course, the size.